How's my battery? Alright, we full. Hello everybody, how are y'all doing? This very well could be my last ride of this 2025 riding season. It is currently like, I don't know, 46, 47 degrees outside, something like that. It's a little chilly, it's not terrible though. So I just changed the oil on that. I did kind of tweak my back yesterday, so yeah, so there's that. So today's plan, hopefully, number one, don't drop the bike because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick it up. Number two is to get this thing nice and hot, nice and warm at least, so I can hopefully do an engine oil and primary change on it. So to do that, I do also have the Sta-Bil with me. I was thinking about running over to Kenny Rogers, Kroger, aka K Rogers, aka Kenny Rogers. If you know where that reference is from, drop it down in the comments. If nobody gets it, I might put a link to the channel that comes from, on the video that comes from somewhere up there. If I ever figure out how to do this stuff, it'd be a blessing, but you know, hey, I'm an idiot. So I think I'm going to run over, like I said, to the Kroger in LaPorte, grab a couple 2-liter bottles of pop. Yes, I'm from the Great Lakes area. We call it pop. It's not soda. It's not Coke, unless you're actually getting Coca-Cola. It's not Coke. But I'm going to go ahead and go to LaPorte, go to the Kroger, grab some pop. While I'm there, I'll go ahead and top the tank. It won't take very much because I don't know if you can see that. We're still about 3/4 of a tank. I got the Sta-Bil in the saddlebag, so I can put that in. And then from there, get ready to put this thing to sleep for the winter. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Probably. This was nowhere near as busy of a riding season as I wanted. Just everything that could go wrong kind of did. No time for this, no time for that. So, we got us a big boy coming this way. We got us an oversized coming this way. So we'll go over and talk about really quick what I hope to do next year for 2026. Let's start with the obvious. Sturgis is booked. I went ahead and used the chip and their payment plan option. I think I ended up having to pay them like $130 a month till either May or June. I forget when the last payment is. If it's May 3rd or June 3rd. I think the total for me all in was like $1,500, $1,450, something like that, including the insurance, just because we've had some janky ass stuff going on at work lately, and should something happen where I end up getting let go, I don't want to be out all that money. So there's that. So Sturgis, as of now, assuming nothing changes, the plan will be to leave either most likely Sunday, August the 2nd, if my calendar and I'm remembering the math right. Sunday, August the 2nd, we'll leave here and either make it to like Sioux Falls or Mitchell or something like that. Sioux Falls, I'll stop at the casino on the Iowa side like I have the last couple of years. If I end up going to Mitchell, it'll be at the Walmart more than likely. I'll just fire up the generator and do that. There's an outside chance, depending on where money is, I might go ahead and leave Saturday the 1st and make it to Sioux Falls and stay at the casino 2 nights. Stay there Saturday night and Sunday night. Stay there Saturday night and Sunday night. Just, you know, there's no reason not to. If I do decide to leave an extra day early, we'll just stay there an extra day. We'll play golf and, yeah, stuff like that. And then we'd stay there Sunday as well. And then Monday, get down to, and then either way, Monday get to the chip. Monday the 3rd, get to the chip when you can show up if you've got the early bird pass, the 2-week pass, which I looked at the place under Halloween sales, which is now over. It was the 2-week pass, I think it was still at $375, so it's still, at least until Friday, it was still at a decent deal. I'll look, and as of the date I upload this, I'll put up here or down there or somewhere what it currently is for all the passes, if you're interested. If you're going to stay at the chip, book now. Stuff gets more expensive as we get closer to the rally, so I would have all your RV site and your campground admission, all that bought by the 1st of the year at the absolute latest. I would not be surprised if for Black Friday they offer the same prices as right now, as kind of a, you know, 72 or what, 90-hour sale, right? 90 would be 4 days or 5 days, right? I think. So yeah, I would go ahead and book all that now as soon as you could. Like I said, they are offering a payment plan option, at least they were. I'm assuming they still are. It's just going to be, your monthly is going to be a little higher because instead of being able to spread it out over, say, 10 payments, now you're only going to be able to spread it over like 8. But still, you know, that's a good thing. I thought that was a neighbor for a second, but I was like, where's this trailer? But still, not a bad way to go. And then we'd be in Sturgis at the very least until Wednesday the 12th, I think. And then, you know, we'd have to leave probably around noon Wednesday the 12th and start making my way back home. That way I can do referee a football game. Assuming I don't decide to just say, you know what, I'm going to take the week off and tell one of the other guys, you handle it. I'm going to take the week off. I'll find you a sub, but I'm taking the week off. Like I said, maybe. I don't know. And then while it's Sturgis, I'll do all the rides that I've mentioned before. I might put a link to the rides video I've done the last couple of years if you're interested in that. But, I mean, there's so many videos about the best rides in and around Sturgis. You know, just look for it. You'll find it. I am still slowly working through going through all the film from my riding time in Sturgis. I don't know if I'm going to do a Sturgis, you know, guide series again or not. I might not. We'll see. That'll be something that starts probably the beginning of the year. But yeah. But other than that, I'm hoping throughout June and July I can take a weekend or two here and there and do something. I don't know. With Memorial Day being early, that kind of hurts a little bit. But, whatever, it's fine. This is fine. I'll go ahead and get to, we'll talk about that as you know, winter turns to spring and we start thinking about it. Just like a long weekend, kind of like I did last year going down to the Smokies. It won't be the Smokies again. It might be like, and it may or may not even be with the trailer. I might just say, I want to jump on the bike. I'll deal with the fact I'm going to spend, you know, $80, $100 in, you know, a night in a hotel room, because, you know, I'm a Super 8 or a Motel 6 is fine for me. I don't have to stay at, you know, fancy. So yeah. But as for like all the other stuff I'm going to do, I don't know yet what I'll do during the summer. I'd like to take two. You know, one might just be down to like southern Indiana, and that would just literally be a long weekend where, you know, leave after work on Friday and get down to where I'm going to stay at, hopefully. Spend all day Saturday riding, and then Sunday, you know, leave out, you know, after breakfast, make my way home, and be home by, you know, let's say 2 o'clock. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, that's you know, so up in the air. I don't even know. Like I said, southern Indiana would be just a weekend with no extra time off work. You know, maybe trying to knock off a little bit early. And then, you know, that would give me like, let's say I go to around Cincinnati. Let's just use that as an example. Just use Cincinnati as an example, because it's a realistic example. As long as traffic doesn't suck around Indianapolis, it's, you know, about 4.5 hours to get down there. It's not too bad. You know, it's basically, it's one full tank of gas. Yeah, okay, maybe a little more than that, maybe a tank and a half, but still, it's not a big deal to get down there. The Wingstop's open, Jets isn't open yet. So yeah, that's what's going on there. When it comes to you know, maybe a little bit longer weekend, maybe the Ozarks, like somewhere around Springfield, or yeah, I think Branson's just too touristy to stay in. I think you'd want to be a little bit further away, maybe somewhere like closer to like Poplar Bluff would probably be better. Maybe, I don't know. And that would be probably one of those where, you know, I'd try to see if I could, I don't know, with the way things are going at work, I don't think I'd be able to take my trailer into work for a day and do that. I just don't think that's doable. Even though I wish it would be. Okay, that doesn't feel great when I go to put my feet down. But, I mean, I'll live. But yeah, like I said, let's say do that. Try to stop maybe, you know, if I knocked off work early, let's say around, you know, noon, 1 o'clock, and then try to make it all the way through Illinois, or, you know, there's an RV park at Lambert's Cafe in Sikeston, which is, you know, I think that would be like 5 hours, I think, depending on traffic, how shitty it was trying to get out of here. So that wouldn't be too bad. And then get over to Poplar Bluff, or, you know, like I said, find somewhere like, you know, find a Walmart somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just fire up the generator and do it that way. That's doable. And, you know, again, spend all day Friday, you know, spend half the day Friday all day Saturday, and maybe like, you know, a little, I don't know, Sunday I probably would have to leave. So, but yeah, so you get 1 full day of riding plus a half. If we took the RV, if we did the bike only, you'd get a little bit more time. The only problem with taking the bike only is storage. Storage becomes a little bit tougher. You didn't see that. What's the old George Carlin line? You know, cop didn't see it, I didn't do it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Come over the bridge and get to the K. Rogers, and the nice thing about Kroger is they got a gas station too, so I take out both, and you know, it's not too terribly far away. I'll run out probably half a gallon of gas. Not the worst. I haven't had a chance to install the covers I bought for the side covers. I also did end up buying just a standard, like a chopped style back pad for this thing. Thinking maybe half the issue I'm having with the latch is because the backrest is just catching so much wind. So that's causing part of the issue. I mean, it can't hurt, right? I think it was like $30 or something for the plain basic one, which is fine. Let's try that first and see if it helps any before we do that. All right, let me grab, like I said, a couple of things of that, of pop, and then I think I'm gonna get gas first, but then oh boy, that hurts. All right, let me do this, and then we'll go over and get some pop, and then I'll be back in, like, you know, 30 seconds for you, but for me it'll be like, for you it'll be like 30 seconds, 10 seconds. For me it'll be like 10 minutes. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we'll try this one more time and see if it works. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's working. We've gone 10 seconds. Okay, success. I got what I needed. It kept giving me some sort of an error message, like, I don't know if it was an SD card error or what.